Avatar Live viewers, we have very amazing person over here. He's not just an investor, he's bringing a lot of change in the ecosystem through his climate seeds funding. Okay, so we have Mr. Pratap Raju from Goa actually, and basically from Visakhapatnam. So we met him at GITEX Dubai, and he's meeting a lot of startup people focusing on clean tech. Mr. Pratap Raju, thank you very much for meeting me.
No, thank
It's
you.
a great pleasure because we read a lot about you in media and in startup ecosystem. Well spoken about you, especially you're focusing on clean tech now. So I want to ask you one thing. You can be very blunt. Like
Sure.
people who starting the business in clean tech or climate based or sustainable development, whatever, it has become a very fancy kind of thing. So where do you see the market is? Is there any real market, commercial market, or it's become a kind of a fancy statement like, oh, yeah, I also started something on clean tech?
Sure. In fact, you're right because clean tech has come so quickly to the ecosystem in India and globally. If I said the largest clean tech startup in the world is a clean tech startup, most people are amazed because they think clean tech means something CSR government, but
Exactly,
Tesla.
that's the perception everyone has.
If I said what's the largest circular economy startup in the world, circular economy means we recycle or reuse things.
Okay.
We have $100 billion startups. We have Airbnb,
Airbnb.
right?
Yes.
We have Ola, Uber. These are circular economy startups. So we
Okay.
sometimes we don't think about sustainability because it's so ubiquitous, so common. We use it as solutions.
Okay.
And something amazing in the last 8 years globally, clean tech has become the biggest sector from the funding side in from the VC world. About $80 billion a year goes into clean tech.
Exactly. Okay.
Now in India, we haven't. It's a little bit took a little longer. When I started in 2016, there may have been about 50 startups in
Okay.
clean tech. Clean tech means energy, like mobility, like the Blue Smarts or charging stations, CCUS, carbon capture, or plastic waste solutions,
Okay.
climate smart agriculture using data, drones to help kind of reduce the water usage or input of fertilizer into increasing our yield. So it's a wide term. Today, we measured in 2022 about 4,500 clean tech startups in India,
Okay.
and about 20,000 crore went into clean tech startups
Okay.
in just in India alone.
Okay.
If I had to
You are
get
talking about only Indian market.
only Indian market,
Okay.
so if I had to look at the trends and the reason why these trends have long, it's not a flavor of the month. They have some really strength is everything is changing.
Okay.
Industry is changing. We have to use less water, whether you're clean tech or not. That's something definitely
Okay.
for sure. Extreme events, heat, all this stuff. So cooling's growing, etc. If I made the prediction that in about 3 to 5 years, clean tech is the biggest sector of India from a startup point of view, whether from startups or from a funding, it's not an unreasonable bet.
Mm.
So and this and I know your question because it's a question people come to me today.
Yeah.
Like what is clean tech, even though it's grown so fast in India.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think it's quite exciting times in India today.
Okay. Very interesting. And there is a kind of overlapping between clean tech and climate tech, or clean tech, climate tech, and sustainable development. What are the three differentiation? You feel that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are getting confused. For example, if I want to change the road, replace the road with a sustainable road,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
Clean technology, how we are going to use the technology and reduce the carbon footprint. So there is a big confusion in that. Can you differentiate that?
Yeah, sure. We're also confused in the industry, right? So sometimes I tell people I support clean tech, and they said no, I'm doing a EV startup,
EV startup.
or they say no, I'm doing something in water tech. Now, clean tech actually is a wide term. So when you mention roads, like there's some innovations to take use plastic waste, create roads. That is also clean tech.
Laying the plastic roads, which
Yeah.
is possible. Yeah.
So that is also clean tech,
Clean
at
tech
least
only, okay.
at least in the widely defined term. So give you a quick taxonomy. We're talking about the drones, data analytics for solar plants, the tech side. We're talking about captured carbon or creating products like tiles, for example. We're talking about mobility, EV charging stations, of course. We're also talking about alternatives to plastic. So everyone needs to solve this problem.
Okay.
So we're using agri waste and other ways to create new packaging material.
Okay.
We're talking about sustainable constructions coming up, so we can also use waste,
The
plastic,
something people are using
fly ash, or even plastic waste, agri waste to create construction blocks.
Okay.
It's called eco blocks. This is something many real estate companies today in India are testing as well.
Okay.
We're talking about climate smart agriculture.
Yeah.
satellite data, drones to help us, increase yields or increase resilience of our agricultural
Okay, can I say like this? For example, any industry, if it can reduce the carbon footprint or it can reduce the wastage, okay, it can. If your technology or innovation going to help to reduce that, that can be called as clean tech.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it is a big sector.
Now you said it's going to be industry agnostic. Like for example, lot of people have aspiration to start clean tech. What are the emerging trends that it can change the world? So what are the few ideas, or you tell that, hey people, if you have an idea to start a clean tech, do on this, focus on this
Yeah.
industry. Can you tell 2 to 3
Well,
trending
yeah, sure.
ideas or something? Because my viewers are all are startup people,
Oh yeah.
business people, so it will be useful for them.
Yeah, I mean that's something we are used to in consumer internet. The big idea, maybe in engaging communities like a TikTok, etc. In clean tech, there are thousands of niches where technology can be applied. For example, one of the things people are exploring is AI for the power sector or discoms. People believe with just a clever use of AI, we can reduce the efficiency of our discoms, which
Okay.
struggle by 5 to 10%.
Okay.
That is thousands of crores of savings overnight. So every industry has a different need. What do we do with plastic waste? Oh, sorry, textile waste. A lot of people are innovating to recycle or upcycle that, of course. In terms of drones, we're using. I know I'm from the power sector, so I have a lot of use cases there. So it's like, for example, those transmission lines. How do you find out if there's a problem? It's expensive, labor, etc. We can now use drones. So I would say in clean tech, it's a different way of approaching. It's such a transformation both of our industry, all our industries perhaps, and such a transformation of how we consume that there's going to be thousands of different ways that you can create technology or products that kind of can go to the market and
Okay, very
and
interesting.
support sustainability.
Okay. So final question, like you meet a lot of startup entrepreneurs, right? You meet somebody at idea stage or growing stage or people who are looking for PE level or whatever.
Yeah.
What important 3 things that you look at an entrepreneur when you start investing? Because apart from technology, business model, everything, the personality is very important to run a business, right? So you meet a lot of entrepreneurs, startup. What 3 important things that you see personally? There is no rule book
Sure.
for anything, right? So you have your personal
Yeah.
parameters, right? So what are the
Yeah.
3 things that you look at in
I mean, I would say two.
okay.
Two really dominate. Many entrepreneurs in clean tech come from a technical background, engineering background, etc. And okay, that's great. That's a great, but the market does not work like this. Now, if you don't have a customer point of view,
Okay.
then it's very hard to see that traction early on. And if you don't get early on traction, what happens? You slow down, you stop, etc. So you, especially in clean tech, where we don't have that 1 lakh likes or
Okay.
subscribers, we
Ah.
have to build business
Yeah.
sale by
So
sale.
first business and then branding.
First business, yes. So it has
then
to be
branding.
from the customer point of view. So I check their value proposition. That tells me a lot, whether
Very
it's a customer oriented mindset.
Mindset, that is very important.
And the second thing, and this is generally, is I personally am very impressed with resilience.
Okay.
Right?
Resilience.
If your startup does not
That is
take,
important for any entrepreneur.
yes, and we all know you're an entrepreneur as well. That if it doesn't happen in the first year, that is natural, even for
Exactly.
successful technology startups. So one thing I check is what happens when the times get tough, when the sales don't happen, when you're not raising funding. How fast are you innovating? How fast are you
Responding to
responding to
the
the situation?
situation.
And to some degree, weathering those periods, we all have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the most successful startups,
Two are very important
entrepreneurs.
points you have told.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Really pleasure meeting you at the GITEX Dubai and looking forward to work with you for long. Thank
Yeah,
you.
likewise.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.